I'm not a fan of it. I didn't even know you were on the island. Nothing prepares you for it. Never come home. It's a fucking jungle.
It's entertainment for me.
It's gonna happen. Like, wrong bitch. No.
I put the phone down and I think I just lied about all of that.
Your time's ticking like mine's not.
He was like, go now.
Let's do it.
Are we ready?
Yes, we are. Okay.
All right.
Hi guys, welcome back to A Little Bit Local. So in our previous episode, we were kind of talking about, what were we talking about?
We were talking about the realities of moving and
things
all
that shocked us.
the
But
things that we found new and struggled with initially.
But it's not all bad, I can promise you, because today we're here to talk about the positives of moving and how we've settled in. It's been like a full year. Like, we've been here a while, guys, believe it or not. So there are a lot of positives. I know some things shocked us and we were like, oh my god, and there was bumps in the road, but we're here to reassure you that it is very good and
It's all worth it.
It's all worth it in the end.
So after a year, how long have you been here now?
I want to say almost 2 years, like
Yeah.
2 full years. But let's say September. Yeah, it's gonna go on like 2 full years.
Yeah.
That's so crazy to me because it goes by like so quick. Like, as you get older, you realize how fast time moves, and it's like so scary because I'm like, wow. People ask me, they're like, oh my god, like, you're like new here, like how long have you been here? I'm like, almost 2 years. You're like, wow, like it's still like new. I'm like, wow, like it is, but at the same time I'm like, oh, that's crazy, because I can see myself back a year ago when I was first moving and figuring everything out towards now, and there's a huge like difference in my life and in me, and it's so crazy. How long have you been here?
Just a year now as well. It was a year in March.
Right.
March I moved. So
Right, it's been like
year
a
in
full
March.
year since we both moved. I'm saying 2 years because from summer. It's been
Yeah.
like 2 full summers, right? Because it's going to our third
Because it's
year
going
living
into
here.
the next summer.
So crazy.
Yeah, so big. And
Oh, okay. Okay. Anyway.
so yeah, it's been a year for me now. It came so fast, and at the same time, it feels like I was living here for the past 5 years. I don't know how to explain it. It like when it came around and we realized, I think we were just looking at the date of something else, and I was like, I've been here a year now, and it felt like I'd been here 3 months. I felt new, but it also feels like I'm so settled now that I've been living here for so long. But
it's like crazy to think about, like, settling into somewhere. Like, you really aren't settled into somewhere and like have your routine and things going. It takes like a full year. And like, people think like when you move, you're like, oh my god, and I'm just gonna start this whole new life, and everything happens like so, like month by month. Like, it's happened so slow to like just make friends, to find things you like hobbies, new place to go to the gym, place
so
to
much
hang out,
slower than I thought
to
it
figure
would.
things out. It doesn't take as little time as you think. Like, it takes
Yeah.
a full year to like look back and reflect and be like, oh my god, I've built this life. Like, it's so crazy. That's something that really like shocked me.
And I think I was thinking of it like I fit in on holiday. Like, you just get there, you meet all these friends, you meet people, you settle in. Living here is a completely different thing.
It is, because holiday is like holiday, vacation is vacation, guys. And you make friends, all this stuff, but like, everyone has their reality in the winter, whether they live in like a very vacation-y destination like Greece or like not. Like, you have your realities that come in the winter as well, which is so funny.
And I don't know if you were the same. I've tried 15 different routines before I found one that like worked for me. So you just eventually stick to something.
So I feel like it just like clicks one
Yeah.
day. Like, it just clicks. Like, I did that in the beginning too. I was like trying to like figure out things that'll work for me with my daily day-to-day routine, but it was also different for me because I moved around. I had no real home, right, for a while, so I was like trying out different things, all this stuff, but it really didn't click into like a year, from September to the next September, where I kind of just
mine's
woke
around
up one
the last
day
few months,
and it was like click, and I was like, oh.
And I think I put a lot of pressure on it at the beginning because it felt like I was restarting. but I don't know how to explain it. I didn't want to restart my restart. So I started one routine and it wasn't working, but I was like, I have to continue because I've started.
Yeah.
And for me to start again, it was like, no, you already moved. So it felt like, oh, you failed at that first. You haven't. It's okay. Like you'll find your rhythm. You'll find everything.
Part of my routine here too is like being with my friends a lot is like a big thing, and like I for one am one person, like we go out during the week and on Sunday, so it's like okay, it's fun.
Well, in Athens, every day is a Saturday here if you want it to be. That's what the dangerous part is. There's always something
dangerous, but it's fun. So it's just like my routine looking from last year to now has changed so much, and I just feel like I like it so much more. Like I remember coming back this past September and I was just like, I put in music every day to go to work or everywhere I'm walking, whether to go to the gym, and I just feel like I'm in a music video. I'm just like, I'm so happy, like, this is great. Whereas last year was so different and like going through all these bumps in the road. Well, now I'm just like enjoy every minute, every like walk you're taking to get everywhere. But that's basically my routine. It's pretty nice, it's pretty simple, and you get used to it, especially because she lives with her boyfriend, I live alone. So it's like I enjoy it so much more than I did last year. Being alone was so scary, and now I just found peace in it, and I think it's so great because I'm like, wow, like look at me. Because some days, like some weeks, I'm like, I have weeks where I'm barely home. I'm home for a minute, in and out, grabbing what I need, and like I'm not home for another 2 days sometimes. I'm like, whoa, what just happened? And then other days where I'm like things slow down, I'm like, oh, I could take a minute and like be alone and relax. Like, and then it freaks me out, but that's another story.
And I'm still settling in. I'm trying to focus on work and getting my routine sorted. So you definitely have such a bigger social life than me, but you've also opened up my social circle so much. But you took me under your wing and opened up my social circle a lot. So I'm still building my other different circles as well. But
that's interesting you say that, because it's like everyone always asks like the social aspect, like especially for me, like whether it's like my colleagues and friends at work or like people I just meet, like, oh, how do you have so many friends? Like I see you're everywhere, like you know where to go, you know what to do. I'm like,
you have different groups as well.
A few different groups, and like it's crazy because it's like I didn't move here not knowing anyone. You know, like let's say if you didn't have your boyfriend in the equation, you would have been like completely like, I don't know anyone. Me, on the other hand, I had some family, cousins, growing up, coming to Greece. I had my friends from Kefalonia, and like I tell them from there, things build and things open up, and you meet people. And then living here, like, you know, in the beginning it wasn't easy. Like I had all these different, trying to find like my balance and where I want to be, and the people who are on the same vibe as you and all this stuff. And it's so different looking back from then and now, because I've made friends from work. I've had friends here already who I've met friends through. And like I said, with my closest circle of friends now, I met again from Kefalonia. And from then I've met from them more people. And now we have this like crazy group, and everyone is just so amazing. Like I'm just so thankful for all these people I've met and have taken me in, and we just get along so well. We have so much fun together. Like I genuinely love each and every one of them so much. And from there, just going out to parties.
Everyone kind of knows of each other.
And like you form little groups and groups, and now like these people have become such a huge role in my life, and like it's like insane to like figure out. But that's how I made friends, because looking back a year ago, you know, I had my friends in different groups, and it's just like, oh, well, I want to do this stuff, and this person wasn't here that often, and this one doesn't want to do this, and it's hard to vibe with these people, and I'm like, okay. So I had stuff to do, we had things to do, but it's just like a year can make a huge difference, and to find your people, your setting.
It makes a lot of difference. I struggled a lot more than I thought I'm still trying, I'm still forming my circles and my friendship groups. But I've got a different circumstance because I've got my partner's friends as well.
And they're awesome, because we'll go out like the 4 or 5 of us, and we have so much fun. Like that's another thing in itself too.
And I live in a different part of Athens from here. It's not far, but it is far because of Athens traffic. So I've kind of got a different group there, and then you've got a different group of friends in the centre as well. But I did find it a lot harder than I thought, because I'm quite an outgoing person. I can speak to a lot of people. But here, I think I had a new sense of anxiety, maybe, like going
Is it-
into social situations.
Do you think it's because it's all like foreign and we all speak a different language?
Yeah, it's such a. I speak a lot about it with my partner because it is a weird thing to navigate. I am trying to learn the language, and I did want to. I knew I wanted to come and learn it as soon as possible. I didn't want to be. Some people are saying you don't need to learn the language. It's okay. Everyone should.
But you should.
I felt it that you miss out on a lot not knowing the language, and things like I could interact and have a laugh, have a joke. You miss out on all that side if you don't speak the language. There's been, at the beginning it was hard because there was times like what you spoke about in a different episode where you're at a table with a big group and you want to say things, and I can understand the language a bit more, so everyone's speaking and I can understand what they're saying, but I can't
Contribute.
I can't contribute yet. So there's times when you're just sat there like fake laughing along.
like you caught on to it but not directly, and you're like
Yeah, and that took me a little bit of time to get into because at the beginning it was a bit of a shock to do that, and I felt like I wasn't getting involved in enough things. And a part of it with the language is I feel like I can't get my personality across to people. I feel like people only know one side of me.
Well, I feel like any time I bring around my friends and we go out with like the people we know together, and like you get along fine.
Yeah.
Like you could bring her anywhere and it's fine. Like, you know, those friends sometimes we're like, you're like, oh, I don't know if I should bring them because they're like so picky and they'll like ruin it. Like, thankfully we don't have those. But like, you know, if you know what I'm talking about. But totally not like that. She's fine.
Yeah, I think because there's a bit of the language barrier, I probably do it to myself. Like I hold myself back a bit because I'm trying to get my point across rather than just being myself and speaking to someone.
Well, I do have to say that like everyone here, I feel like from the people I've met and the people I'm close with, they're very cultured and they're very like, they speak different languages. They know people from all parts of the world.
Yeah.
Which is like, I have friends from a lot of different countries, which I love. And even like going around with some of my friends who know people from different places, and they bring me and connect me with them. It's like we're all speaking English in like different broken ways.
Yeah.
And I think it's so amazing because I feel like I like being around that. I think it's so great to just come together with people from all over. And just like the world's so big just to be stuck with like, you know, just like open your horizons, expand, and like the opportunities are all there. Like you never know who you'll meet or what can come out of it. But I think it's so amazing because everyone speaks English, everyone tries.
Yeah, everyone speaks English. It's not you have to learn the language to make friends and make. But I think I'll have more confidence to go into different social situations and be more myself when I can communicate how I want to come across. And that's another thing with the language I'm still trying to figure out because I can't speak it well yet. Well, I don't even try to speak it out yet, but because I'm not actively speaking it. I always wonder, is your personality the same when you learn a different language? I've never learned a different language, and I was trying to think because it will be you and my partner teaching me the language, so I'm thinking, will I pick up on your guys' tones and how you speak, or will it be my own? Like,
it'll be your own, because I feel like sometimes, like when I hang out with my friends and stuff, which I noticed this at my birthday too, like I go out with all my friends and stuff who are all like from here, like from all over, and they all know me, right? They can see my personality, they all know me. But sometimes I feel like I can hold myself back a bit just because like I'm fluent but not like perfectly fluent to like really say what I want to say, but I'm lucky they all know English. But I feel like on my birthday when I had, you know, my two big groups together, they all knew of each other and it was all fun. We were all just crazy and it was amazing. They
that
really
was a
saw
international mix.
They really saw like they all knew me, but now seeing it all like me speaking like to my friends who don't speak Greek and like people from work that came and like my immediate group, and they were all just like, oh my god. I feel like sometimes they just kind of like see like that other percent of you that they're like, oh okay, like there it is, like why are you being shy?
Because I've never learned another language. I always think, is your personality the same when you learn a foreign language? Or
I think it's primarily the same, but like a little different, because if it's not your complete native language, like you're holding back always a little because you don't want to like mess up or like say something wrong. That's how I feel like with me, at least.
I'm starting to get past that barrier of not being embarrassed and just speaking. I will get there, but Yeah, I feel like what you were saying, so right, that you meet people who have so many different. There's a lot of people here who are well travelled, and I think that's because a lot of people do more here, which is a really fun thing actually.
Because I feel like back, at least in the States, like it's just all work, 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 and like depending on where you live, but most people wait to go out on the weekends. Like here, like I said, I go out a lot of the times during the week. Like there's been like weeks I've been out like 4 to 7 days a week, you know, and it's just different. You always find something to do, and it's just a different thing here. Like you want to experience life, you want to go out and see new things, and there in Europe in general, not just in Athens, it's very just like we want to experience life and live life and do all these things.
I felt like it was so much harder to plan things with my friends, or it took a lot longer.
Here?
No, back home.
Okay.
You'd have to plan it a week in advance, and you have to make sure this is done and this is done and this hotel's booked and your transport's like, I feel like there's a lot more to sort out.
I can't with that there. Everyone's like, well, this is this much, we have to split it this way, and we need to take like 3 business days to do it. And I'm like, me coming from like here, it's like, just book it, don't worry. We have people here, we'll live in this house. Or, oh my god, we know here, or just stay at my place and this and that.
It's just like, so much more spontaneous, and everyone's, I don't know why it is that way, but everyone's way more
relaxed,
free to do something. Yeah, everyone, you just wake up on a Sunday and it's, oh, do you want to go meet someone which is hours away just for coffee, for a lunch? Like, it's
let's
normal.
go.
And there's a lot of holidays. Like,
yes.
But what we have bank holidays, when I call back home, they're on bank holiday 1 and we're on bank holiday 3 in a row, and it's
so like in Greece in general, it's a very obviously religious country. We're very into with our culture. Most people know that. But there's a lot of holidays, like religious holidays. We have a lot of 3-day weekends and like things, especially for Easter too. We have a lot of time off for Easter and all those big holidays.
I love the set routines around the holidays. Like there's certain ones where everyone will be in Athens, and certain ones where everyone goes out of Athens. Like Athens is quiet for a couple of days.
Like looking back a year ago, even though I am Greek, I didn't know about, you don't really know about all these 3-day weekends because you don't live here, because back in the States they didn't acknowledge them. It's completely 2 different cultures, 2 different places in the world. And so being here, and I remember like, oh, people go away this weekend. Like obviously I had like a weight dragging me down. Like I couldn't plan things. I didn't know what was going on. I was like, I want to do this, but I was like, wait, what? And this, it was very new to me. It was shocking. So I was like in Athens most of the time, but you learn. So now with all these 3-day weekends, like I feel like, for example, the month of March was, I feel like I barely worked. My parents were here, we went on a small trip together. I came back, went right to Milan with my friend. After that, she came and lived with me for most of March, and it was my birthday. And in the midst of all that, there were 2 back-to-back 3-day weekends. We were just going like on day trips to like the beaches. It was beautiful weather too. And it was just very like, one of the best months. Everyone was like, March was the best month. It really was. Like, we were on this continuous high of like, life's amazing. I love my life. I can't believe this is real. Like, everything was just like, wow. But that's like the beauty of it, because I would have never thought a year ago that I'd be this happy and this like overwhelmed with joy.
I feel like because I'm in year 1, it still catches up with me. Someone will say, oh, what are we doing next month? You call me and you say, okay, what are we doing for this holiday? And I'm still catching up.
Like, what?
Wait, what?
The other holiday just finished.
The holiday 2 days ago. Like, sorry, where you were last year. Like, just catching up with it all.
So, now that we can say we've both successfully been here a year, do you feel that you're happier and you think that you made the right choice? Like, are you happier overall in Greece that you moved to Europe, and like for your mental health? Like, how do you feel about this?
Oh yes. I feel like I was so unstable for a while. Like I the whole way through I kept saying, like, I promise I'm the happiest I've ever been, but also the most emotional I've ever been. But I wasn't emotional because I was sad. There were times I was sad because missing everyone back home, trying to figure stuff out, but it was more being overwhelmed. It was just more being overwhelmed, and things got to me, and I think that was just my body's way of releasing it.
Which is natural, okay? Getting overwhelmed, this is a big move, guys, and it's so sudden, so that's natural, but overall you do feel like happier here, like you made the right choice.
I honestly feel so much more fulfilled here. I miss my family and I miss my friends, and I think that's always going to be a struggle, but yeah, for sure. I definitely feel like it was the right move, and that I am meant to be here, and I'm really happy
Oh,
here.
yeah.
How about you?
Oh man, I'm so much happier here.
Yeah.
Like, everyone kind of saw this coming. If you know me, like, I love it here. And even like talking to my mom on FaceTime, because I talk to my mom every day. Same, she's my best friend. And she's just like, I see you and you're so happy and like you're like glowing. Like, everyone's like, you just like the way you speak, and just hearing about these stories that you tell us and about your life, it's just like insane. Like, I can definitely say I'm a lot happier here. I do feel more fulfilled, and I love the people I'm meeting and my friends and the life that I'm creating for myself here. Whereas back in the States, it was kind of like the same humdrum like routine of like, you know, there's a big world out there. I was always one to pick up and go, and I loved it, and I love traveling.
I love that you said that. Actually, it does feel like you're building something.
It feels like you're building something, and I knew I was kind of like meant for that, and I loved this lifestyle from a little girl, so I was like, okay. But overall, it just like, yeah, it is, like I said, it does get overwhelming. In the beginning, it was absolutely overwhelming, like, and that's just logical for it to feel like that and for you to be like that. But then, like, you know, you slowly start to build and get used to things, and you really kind of just realize like, okay, it's not that bad. Looking back a year from now, up until now, I feel like
You're in such a happy place.
I'm in such a good place, a happier place, and like life is so beautiful and so short to sit and be like, oh, I need to go. Like, no, there's no reason.
Yeah,
I never felt an urge to run back.
Yeah, I felt like I was always running when I was back home and stressed and trying to hit the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And here, you can just live in the moment. It's a bit more slower paced. It's slower paced. It's beautiful.
There's so many times like when we're together too, like we'll be looking out the sea or like doing something or like with any of our friends, and I'm just like staring, and I'm like, I literally live here.
I feel like I'm lying when I speak to people on the phone, and I ring my mom, dad, tell them what I'm doing, and then I put the phone down and I think I just lied about all of that. I didn't. I didn't. That happened, but it's surreal to me that this is my life.
I always like look and I'm like, oh my god, like, and I always got that feeling in the summer where I'd like just look out to the same like places and I'd be like, I'm from here. And now I'm like, oh my god, I live here, and it kind of makes up for like every small struggle, every like little thing along the way. It just like, there's so much good. Like, just keep on moving, because it's so amazing how it could get.
What was the name of the holiday that we just had where everyone was flying kites and eating the fish and
Café de Ftera.
What she said. That holiday, I just felt so blessed and happy, and I was tearing up just being happy because I was sat there at a lake, and it was like the most beautiful summer feeling that you can have. And
summer came early this year.
Well,
it's coming early.
But I just sat there at the lake, we had a little picnic, and it was sun shining, and you were just looking at everyone's doing fun things together.
There's always
family,
something to do.
Friends. You're walking by, cars are just playing music out, everyone's flying kites. I was like, this is
everyone's always out, like, and that was one of the 3-day weekends. I was back from Milan, and here the weather started to pick up, and I was like, oh yay. And we were just like sitting there mid-March, just before my birthday, early March when we got back, and we're like, we're on the beach. Like, I was in a bikini tanning, like the wind was chilly, but it was nice. I was like, and everyone, little kids were out, families flying kites. It was just so nice. And like, you just learn to honestly appreciate the small things in life that are just so beautiful. Where like at home, it's just like so, it's like a different way, a different culture back in the States, or I can imagine the UK, where like, I don't know, the European life is for us, like this is like, and I knew it.
You have a new sense of gratitude for everything you do here.
You do. Like, I'll call my mom and be like, yeah, like, we're doing this for a day trip, and then we're going here, and we're like at a sunset at the dinner, and we went to the beach for a walk, and we were swimming, and it's like April, not even. And she's like, oh my god, that's so nice. She's like, I'm so jealous. I can't wait to come and like be here with you. And then I'm like, this is my life. Like, what the fuck is going on?
I FaceTime my mom and dad mainly when I'm on a dog walk or when I'm getting ready. And my dad, I normally FaceTime my mom, and then my dad like pops his head in and has a conversation as well. And he's always like, You're out again. Where are you going again?
Yeah.
Like, stay at home.
My mom's like, I don't let you call me because you're always so busy.
How do you feel like you've grown from last year to this year, from when you first moved to now, because you've had such a roller coaster of a journey?
Oh my god, I've grown so much. I feel like looking back a year from now, I could have never imagined all the things that were waiting for me and all these great experiences, my friends. Like, I would have never in a million years thought that this is where my life would be, because I was so thrown down and so like, what the hell is going on? And it's not supposed to be like this. But things, like I'm telling you, with time, things just kind of figure themselves out and you grow so much. Like, in general, moving is so character building, because you're on an unknown place and it's very uncomfortable, and you have to get comfortable with that.
Yeah.
Especially moving to a new country and being alone and going through a lot of things that are hard for you in that moment alone. I feel like I've grown so much. I became so much stronger. I think we said it, independent, more confident. Like, I would have never imagined. I remember last year, the thought of like picking up and being like, oh, no one can come with me to the beach today or do something, and going alone terrified me, because I was still so broken and still so like, oh my god. Now I'll just do it and be like, I don't give a shit,
Because you're confident in yourself.
I'm just so much more confident. I'm so much more comfortable in what I'm doing and where I'm going, and it's just like, you have nothing to lose. Like, I have nothing holding me back and like weighing me down. I just feel like I found a lot of peace and like gratitude in the time I have alone and getting to know myself and just rebuilding, like just being happy and realizing what I want in life and who I want to surround myself with. It's a lot of realization, a lot of growth, and I feel like I don't even know how it even all happens. It just falls into place. I'm so blessed with like the most amazing people around me, my friends, family that I always have so much support with, and they're like, oh my god, don't worry, you'll be with us, don't worry, you'll do this, don't worry, we're gonna plan this, and like things just start like going and flowing, and I'm like, you're right, like, oh my god. And it didn't click to me until after the summer, which was like so fun but also so crazy for me, because you know everything I was like dealing with. And then just one day, like, it truly is time heals everything. Like, I just clicked. I was like, no, we're gonna be the best version of me. We're reinventing, we're doing this, we're gonna be the best I could be. It's just so crazy. I think I've grown so much, I can't even put it into words. Like, it's so amazing to like look back from like this girl last year and this girl this year, and I'm like, wow. Like, I remember after summer we had met up for dinner, and like, you're like, oh my god, like there's this whole new, like, you're glowing, like there's this whole new energy about you. Like, I'm so happy it finally clicked to you, and you're just like realizing and doing. You were like better.
Refilled with life again. You had this new happiness and excitement. I think that's
for everything. For everything. Like, last year I was so nervous for all these 2-day weekends and like planning things, because I had someone so unstable bringing that joy down for me. And this year I'm like so
and like, you had the anxiety of, oh, we've got this weekend coming up. You were going in with anxiety, and then coming back from summer, you were. I'm excited to see what, I don't know what the plan is, but
I don't know. Life's amazing, guys. We'll just see where it takes us. It's just so great, like just thinking in that way.
And we both said it before that I think we touched on it in another episode, that when you're put in uncomfortable situations,
you're forced to grow. You're forced to grow, and it's always in the best way possible.
And I think being in a completely new environment, a new country, has helped just growth in general. I think just being somewhere different, somewhere fresh, somewhere new, where it's a new start, you can take that time and work on yourself and be with yourself. I've not moved out before either, so this is my first time moving out, and so it was the first time I've got to spend time alone with myself and my thoughts and actually reflect and do that for yourself. The healing, the growth,
exactly.
Find out who you want to be, and I think that's the journey that I'm on now, is actually building who do I want to be.
Who do you want to be? I feel like we're like aligned with that, because you don't know. There's so much you don't know until you put yourself out there and you see new things and experience new things and meet new people, and it forces you to be like, oh, and you see a new perspective on things, which is so important, especially being in your 20s.
And you do feel like you still feel like a child when you're living at home with your family.
I still feel like a child. I'm not going to completely, because I still feel like a child and I'm living on my own. I'm like, but it's okay, because I have a good ground of my routine. and I can take care of myself, take care of a house. Like, that stuff never really stressed me.
Yeah.
It was kind of just like doing it
I think
until you get your balance.
Yeah, your grounding, your
Yeah.
balance. I think I was always, I wouldn't say scared, but I just never would want to be alone with my own thoughts or my own time.
I was like that last year, but sometimes it's like the best thing because you're forced to do that inner work. You're forced to heal.
Yeah.
And sometimes you need time to relax, for things to pick back up again and just to be go again.
I feel like before I didn't enjoy being alone,
Mhm.
and now I'm learning to enjoy that and just learning to take those moments by myself.
It takes time because it's so scary, especially when you're really alone, to actually appreciate that silence and that like
Mhm.
alone time that you have to kind of like regroup and like face your thoughts and learn yourself.
And I feel like it is necessary.
I think
It
it's
is
so
necessary.
important. It's so important. Like,
I
in
used
your
to shy
growth.
away from it, but
Yeah,
it
I
is
used to hate it last year. Like, oh my god, I hated it. It was so scary. And with everything that was going on, I was like, what the fuck? But now it's like, it's such a beautiful thing, guys. Like, you don't realize it. I mean, it's not perfect every day, like, of course. But like, sometimes too, if I get like down, because everyone has those days where you're like, oh my god. Like, I remember talking to my mom on FaceTime, and I was like, I don't know, did you feel like that in your 20s? Like, I love, everything's so great. Like, Mama, I have nothing to complain about. I love my life. I'm so happy. I'm so lucky. But like, you know, you have those days. You know, everyone does. It's natural. It's part of being a human. Like, did you feel like that in your 20s? Is that normal? She's like, yeah, of course it's normal. And she's like, but I feel like I can never relate to you specifically because I always lived home, and then like, you know, back then, like, then I met your dad and we started our life and blah blah blah, whereas like you moved out and moved to a different country and you're completely alone, you're living completely alone. And that's something I feel like a lot of people can't entirely relate to unless they're in that situation. Like,
Yeah, I can imagine what
Mhm.
it's like for you, but I
Mhm.
can't.
you
ever-
can't fully
yeah.
relate to it because she's, yes, alone. She picked up and moved here alone, but she moved in with her boyfriend.
Mhm.
Whereas like I picked up, I moved here, things unfolded the way they did, and now, yeah, I am alone, and it was scary, but now I'm like, this is so amazing. But you know, everyone has those days, but that's just a part of it. So I mean, if you guys are going through that or can relate in any way, like, I'm here, I feel you, because it is a crazy like concept to think about.
Yeah, and I used to pick up the phone to call my parents or my friends, and sometimes they wouldn't pick up, and I'd feel like,
Oh my god, me last year.
yeah, but
Poor.
like, oh, what do I do
Oh my
now?
God.
Or I'd have music in the background, I'd have a podcast on, I'd
Yeah,
watch
yeah.
something on YouTube, and now I'm like,
Even now though, I love FaceTime. Like, me and my best friend from home, like, sometimes I do like when I'm like really tired from the day and I've been running around a lot, I'm like, oh fine, like, just sit in silence and like go to bed. Like, but most days if I'm like, she's not doing anything on a Friday night and I'm not, I'll be like, oh my god, it's like we're hanging out, and we'll be on FaceTime all day. Sometimes from the minute I wake up and she's not asleep yet, she'll like come with me, I'm like, get ready to work with me, like, come to work with me, and then I'm like, alright, text me right when you wake up. And then like hours go by, I'm leaving work, and she's like, good morning, I'm like, oh my hi, and we'll FaceTime for the rest of the day until I go to sleep. But like, that's just our relationship. Like, I have like a handful of people I can do that with, which I still love doing.
yeah. I'm proud of us and how far we've come.
Yeah.
I'm really nervous but excited as well going into this summer, because I feel,
I mean, I always have that little like anxiety before summer for something that
because I
but
moved
it's
in,
coming.
because I moved in March. I had March, April, May, June, so it was like 3 months before summer where I was
Yeah.
really just settling in, but it still felt like a holiday. I wasn't
Yeah.
working yet, and I just got launched into summer, and it was overwhelming for me, and it was amazing, beautiful. It was still a dream life. Like, I'm in
Right.
Greece for 3 months of the year on holiday. It's my dream since I was 5.
But now that we're like settled in for like, it's been over a year, we're settled
Yeah.
in, and now it's just like, okay, where can we see ourselves? Where does our summer plans lie this year? Because last year we had it, but we were still figuring things out. And I feel like each year you become a little more independent, and like you learn more things and do more things and plan things with people.
And I feel like I was just following my partner's
Yeah.
routine when I moved in, because I'd always, I had my own routine, and I was working with a company, and then
Yeah.
working on something with me and him and on my own, like job-wise. I was like, I don't know how to navigate this, so I was just following along him
Yeah.
and his routine, and in summer. But this year I feel like
Where do you see yourself this summer?
I have a new independence, so I feel like I could open up my circle and be more confident with being
Yeah.
here. I think last year I was just feeling like a bit of a tag along, like it was,
Stop. Not
like, as in just I just wanted to kind of settle in and fit in and
Yeah.
just the kind of
It's
bird's eye
crazy
view.
times.
Yeah.
Crazy times. I feel like obviously we're both being Catalunya majority of the time. But aside from that, like
My girls are gonna come visit. My sister's
Yeah.
gonna come visit this summer, and they
It'll
did last
be-
year. But then this year is I'm in a different mindset.
I
this
feel like
year,
it'll
so-
be a lot of craziness this year because I already have a few things on my mind for this summer. And as you know, the Greek mentality, we're very spontaneous and very just like, fuck it, let's go, especially with me and my friend group. So there are things that we're talking about, things in the works, and I'm like, oh my God, like I hope this happens. Like this is crazy. Like I have my friends from here to come visit. They want to plan that.
And we'll be in Catalonia.
We'll be together. My other friend wants to come visit. Who knows? Maybe
I've got a whole list that everyone here has
We'll hit
told
a-
me. Like, have you
hopefully
been
we'll
to?
hit a few islands. I
Yeah.
have one that I'm dying to go to. We
Yeah,
don't know
I have a
that
couple
one.
that.
So
I
we'll
wanna
see.
go.
We'll circle back, see if I make it there with my friends. It'll be amazing.
I think that's one quiz when anyone local here hears that you've moved and you're new to the country. They're like,
Everyone.
have you been to this island? Have you need to get to here.
Oh my God, does
You
that
need
mean to go to Mykonos every summer and Santorini? And I'm like, no, first of all. Santorini, very coupley island. You will not catch me there yet. Mykonos, I have not been yet. That's one of the islands that I want to go to with my friends this summer. We're so excited about that. But those are like little things along the way. I just feel like there's so much craziness and so much excitement for this summer. And we'll have so many more stories to come share and things to talk about because within this whole year, there's, oh my God, it's been so crazy. I could go on and on about stories about going out and about my life where like I'm excited to get into. But once we get into more of like recent things, we could plan with like in time and you could hear about our week and like our nights out and stuff.
And I'm hoping to have learned a lot more of the language. I'm gonna get cussed out by so many people in Catalonia if I don't speak Greek this summer. I promise so many people that I'll be fluent. And Chris gave me for my birthday a guide on how to be Greek. And he said, you have to read this by summer so you can get your
Get on it,
certificate in
let's
being
go.
Greek. So that's the plan for this year.
I mean, I'll quiz you. I mean, she's with me all the time. I've never heard her speak Greek. It's only saying hi and thank you. But she's even nervous around me. I can't imagine how that is because, like, come on.
I need to stop. I will. We'll get that.
So that just wraps up another episode, if you made it this far with us, of A Little Bit Local. We hope you enjoyed this and kind of saw the positives and actually how happy we are like here, and I hope it inspires anyone listening to kind of just get up and move, whether it's here to Greece or in Europe in general. I promise you'll be so much happier and you'll figure it out. Things will unfold for the better.
I'm going to be preaching European summer to everyone.
European summer, like, till we die. Like, from birth to death, European summer always. That's not a question. Let's get to it and just, I don't know, guys.
And we'll be sharing the journey, sharing our summer journey.
In real time. Buckle up, because you don't know what is in for you guys. I can guarantee that.
And we hope this is enough to inspire everyone to move to and be as happy as us.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye.